This video was made possible by angelspit's amazing supporters on Patreon. You guys keep us going. Get a new track and a new blipvert every month on angelspit's Patreon. Details are in the description below. The objective of this video is to give some insight into my streams, hopefully inspire you and give you some ideas. This is not a detailed tutorial on streaming. There are heaps of online tutorials about how to use software and get started, and they're probably better than what I could do. This is more of an overview of how I do it. I'd like to thank my friend and Supreme Streaming Jedi Master, Ryan, aka Rasputin. Ryan has helped me and many other bands, many other festivals get their streams working. Ryan taught me so much. So Ryan, thank you. You rock. One positive thing about the terrible global impact of the coronavirus is that it's forced bands and artists to find new ways to reach their audience. Live streaming is awesome, and it will still be around when everything goes back to normal. Promoters I've spoken to have shown great interest in projecting a live stream from a remote band during a physical event at their venue. So they could project the live stream while the next band is setting up behind the projection screen on the stage of the venue. When you think about it, there are a lot of possibilities here. It's really cool. When angelspit tours, it costs about $500 to $1,000 per show. And that's before we actually walk into the venue. Van hire, gas, food, wages, insurance, visas, flights, accommodation, it all adds up very quickly. Plus you lose a cut of the merch to the venue and to the merch guy. And you're dealing with long drives, drunk people fighting, smoking, counterfeit money. Yes, that is seriously an issue. Getting ripped off by promoters, sleep deprivation, sickness, because everyone's passing the flu between each other. Being away from home, alien abductions, and a tour van that smells like feet, ballsack, and Doritos, but without the Doritos. It costs practically nothing to do a live stream. There is almost no financial outlay. The audience size is 2 to 5 times larger than a physical show, and people watching a live stream will spend half as much per capita on merch compared to a physical show, which sounds bad, but considering you're playing to 2 to 5 times as many people and it almost costs you nothing. Financially speaking, there is no comparison. You can stream a show to people all over the world, then record it and archive it to YouTube, and people then still keep watching it. This is the best way to reach your audience and to promote your music and merch. Hey Shaya. To do music, you're going to need 2 computers. One is for music and the other one is for streaming. My music computer is a beast. Thank you, Sean, Stoltz, and Brett. I don't know its specs, but it's Windows 10 and very sexy. My laptop is a dedicated streaming computer. Thanks also, Brett. Its specs are i7 1065G7 CPU at 1.3 GHz, 8 gig RAM, solid state drive, Windows 10, and I really don't know what that means. I'm running Cubase 5.0, yes, 5.0, in arranger mode. This mode allows you to easily play different components for each song. You can easily flip between them, and it handles all the tempo changes perfectly. It's running 2 stereo tracks at 44.1 16-bit. One of the stereo tracks is the instrumental backing track, and the other one is a vocoder pad panned left, and an audio track for the modular, which is panned right. And this is a special audio track for the modular because it's converted into control voltage, and that then starts to modulate and mutate the modular's mayhem. The BeatStep Pro is synced to the computer via USB. The trig outputs from the drum section drives the kick, snare, hats, and some other weird stuff. And the 2 sequencers provide CV gate for additional bleeps and bloops. The Dopa A155 sequencer is also providing 2 lines of random synths. I actually prefer using the A155 as its knobs and its switches make it really easy and fun to manipulate the sequence in real time, and you can turn stuff on and on. It's great. All of these elements are manipulated live. Like I will literally change the kick drum pattern depending on the song, as we're going through the song. Sequence notes are changed or muted. The main stereo instrumental backing track is also fed into the modulator, and that's quite seriously mashed up in there. In total, the modular is producing 8 channels of drums, sequences, basses, bleeps and bloops, and vocoder and mayhem. These feed into the desk and are mixed. My main microphone goes directly into the TC Helicon Voice Live rack, which is controlled via MIDI from the music computer. It gets program changes, note information for its vocoder and its harmonizer, and it also gets parameter changes and reverb cutoffs and all of that stuff via MIDI from the music computer. This then goes into the mixing desk. The headset mic signal is fed into the desk, it's compressed, EQ'd a little bit, then it's sent out via an auxiliary into the Dope4 A129 modular vocoder. The vocoder's carrier signal includes the vocoder track audio from the music computer. It's also got the Emax playing big chords, which is from another MIDI track, and white noise. White noise gives it a really nice robotic edge. And if you're interested in finding out more about the craziness that I do with vocoders, check out my blipverts on vocoders. The DMX lights are controlled via MIDI, and the last MIDI track coming from the music computer controls all the cameras that are being fed into the streaming laptop, which are being switched real-time in MIDI. So the lights and the cameras are programmed to be as crazy as possible because I'm performing in this space here, and I have about 3 foot by 3 foot to move around in, and every piece of mayhem must be employed to make the show look crazy and fun. So with 2 stereo audio tracks at 44.1 16-bit, plus the 5 MIDI channels, makes it super easy for the music computer to handle this. There are no plugins, no effects, no nothing. The music computer is handling really simple stuff. All the audio is being mixed on the mixing desk, then it's being sent to the streaming computer via USB. Also, there is no way I could perform this show in a venue, as there is way too much gear and it literally takes 3 days to set all of this up. With streaming, I can get you, bring you into my studio and bombard you with mayhem and go wild, which is way more fun. There's a bunch of stuff feeding into the streaming computer. There are 3 cameras. One of them's built into the laptop. I put a little fisheye lens thing on it and point it at the modular, and it looks really cool and weird and spacey. It's my fisheye modular cam. The second one is a GoPro. It's usually mounted on my mic stand right near my face so you can get the Zoog cam effect. The third is a Logitech, and it's a piece of crap, and it's usually set up to shoot me and the modular synth. So whenever I do something on the modular, you can watch me doing it. And the laptop's built-in fisheye camera is giving you an up close of the modular, and the GoPro on my microphone is giving you me rocking out for you. As mentioned, the audio is being imported digitally via USB from the desk. I'm using a simple and cheap MIDI to USB thingy, which is receiving MIDI from the music computer for all the camera changes. And I finally figured out how to streamline the CPU usage so the processing needed to change all the cameras on the beat isn't too much of a drain on the CPU, but more on that later. Let's talk about the streaming software. OBS is free open source streaming software with a lot of extra plugins, tutorials, community, and help and awesomeness. I love this software. As mentioned, this is not a tutorial, it's more about me telling you how I misuse it, and hopefully you're going to get some ideas and implement them. So to make this work, you're going to need a basic understanding of OBS, and luckily, it's super easy software to figure out, so you'll pick it up in no time. Since I only have 3 cameras, here's some suggestions on how to make it look like I have 30 cameras. I'll put the camera on this scene. Let's call it scene 1. Tip, always name the scenes. I will then copy scene 1 and zoom into the camera, so the image looks bigger. Tip, click on the camera area and drag the corners to resize. Hold Alt while you are resizing the camera or any other media to change the proportions, to break it out of its aspect ratio. I'll copy scene number 1 again and then flip it on the horizontal axis. Flipping between these scenes adds to the energy of the show. In my setup, I switch between the scenes via MIDI. It's all pre-programmed on the music computer. OBS has the ability to overlay video onto a camera feed. Select the properties of the video in the scene it appears in. You can chroma key the video, and you get to choose the chroma key color. Speaking of chroma keys, you can also use green screens. Green screens are awesome. Don't knock them.